Guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Wholesaling Inc. I am your host, Tom Krol, and I am so excited to be with you guys today. I haven't been recording a lot of podcasts, and when this came down the pipe, I said, I want to do this interview myself. I am excited. I can't wait to share information with you because the reality is that things are changing. And things are changing in a big way, and I've got some really exciting things to share with you that you can implement right now to do deals. If you don't know what wholesaling is the art of finding discounted properties. That's it. It doesn't matter what your exit strategy is, whether you're going to flip that property, you're going to buy it quickly and sell it quickly, you're going to rehab it, you're going to become a landlord, whatever you're going to do. If you can find a discounted property, you can find financial freedom. And that's what wholesaling is all about. And today's guest has been really just, first of all, a leader in the industry, but also has found some ways, some strategies that you could implement right now that are changing the game. He's getting students who are getting check after check after check after check after check of massive wins in this industry, all using a medium, a methodology that everybody knows about and everybody is ignoring. And just recently, because of everything that's been going on in the economy and with the pandemic and everything else that's happening in our lives in this country, things have been changing, and it certainly has been affecting this channel. So without further ado, waiting, you guys know this is the no fluff, no BS zone. We're going to get right to the meat and potatoes. Let's introduce our guest. You guys know him and love him. He's a rock star, Chris Arnold. Chris, can you hear me okay?
Oh, Tom Krol, what's up, buddy? How are you,
Bam!
man?
All right, man. It is so good to be on the show as a host, and I'm honored to be on with you.
No,
Such a
man.
rock
Fun
star,
hanging out.
REI Radio, man.
On the phone, man. Doesn't matter if we're on a podcast or talking on the phone, man. The energy's always great. We always rev each other up and always adding value, man. So it's fun.
Bam.
I'm glad I get to do this with you. It's a blast.
Well, it is awesome to be on. And just so everybody knows, Chris and I, this is all progress, not perfection. We recorded this. I 100%, I lost the recording. I am the worst. I went to my summer home and I left it here. I sent somebody to my house to try to find it. They couldn't find it. I think they might have deleted it. I'm not sure, but we won't pass blame. So we're doing it because things have even changed in a bigger way with radio, this medium that everybody listens to, that everybody knows about, but so few investors are leveraging. And I know you and your students have just been exploding with some of the changes. And specifically, there have been 5. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you just cut out on that last part. But
okay, I'm going to make sure my do not disturb is on. So, Chris, specifically, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but from what I understand, there have been 5 major, never before seen things that have been happening in radio that make it was an excellent, amazing channel, and now it's even better. Is that accurate? Is it 5 major shifts in this market?
Yeah. I love your language, man. You're just so vibrant in the way that you communicate. So, yeah, I mean, there really are. There are 5 really unique fundamental changes in radio that I've seen because of what's happened in the economy this year that over the last 10 years, I've actually not seen with radio. And it's these 5 things I really wanted to hit on today because it's a window of opportunity that I'm seeing. I don't know how long the window is going to stay open, but it is open right now. But as things begin to get more and more back to normal, these 5 things are going to go away. And so not only is radio such a unique marketing channel because nobody's doing it, it creates celebrity status. I mean, people have heard us and listened to this. This is why we have so many people signing up. But I wanted to touch today on 5 things about radio that you probably haven't heard me talk about because it happens to be related to the current environment. So, man, let's hop in. Let's get to the meat, Tom.
Yeah, so let's do it. I want to get right to the meat and potatoes. And just so everybody understands what we are talking about is you are using radio ads as a real estate investor, as a wholesaler, using radio ads to find people who want to sell their home at a discount. Is that what we're talking about?
Without question.
Okay.
Mhm.
And is that for everybody, or is that just for people who are already making $100 million, or people who are just starting out, or everyone in between, or who should really be paying attention to what you have to say right now?
And I'm going to say everyone, and I'm saying that truthfully, because when you're asking me that question, that's really two questions underneath that. Does this work in every market, small, medium, or large? Yes, it does. So it doesn't matter where you're located in the United States, radio works. We know that because we have students east to west coast in all those markets. And then who's it for? It's for the new person because it's extremely affordable, and of
Bam.
course, low maintenance. And so if you're new to the game, you don't want to pick up a marketing channel. This creates a lot of busy work for you. We know that radio is a set it and forget it. But for the person that wants to scale, that's listening, that's more seasoned, the thing I love about radio is you can scale to a lot of stations. You can spend tens of thousands of dollars in your market on just this one channel.
Awesome. All right. So guys, pay attention. I'm really going to pick Chris's brain here, and we're not going to leave any stone uncovered. So Chris, what is going on with radio that your students are having such a major influx of success right now with deals and finding these sellers? What the heck is going on, and tell us more about it.
Yeah, so the first thing in why radio works so well and gives a great return for myself and for the students we're working with is we buy our radio like we buy our real estate at a deep discounted price. So the reason that you make profit when you do a real estate transaction is because you go in and you negotiate with the seller and you buy that house at 60, 70 cents on the dollar. Whereas other people, that buy homes for themselves, they pay full retail, Tom, right? So this is
Right.
why we know how to make money. It's on the buy. The same is true with radio. We lock in at such a deep discounted price that I'll give you an example. We have a student yesterday that based on the price he has for a radio station, he closed his first deal out, did $25,000, and he paid for the radio station for the entire year. We did the math on the coaching call yesterday. So that means every deal on top of that he's going to close is just pure profit for him off of that station. That's
Awesome.
a good position to be in.
Yes.
But what I'm telling you is happening right now is, let's put it this way. Normally you would buy, real estate at 60, 70 cents on the dollar. Imagine if something happened in the market and all of a sudden you could buy it at 30 to 40 cents on the dollar. That's actually happened with radio. So not only are we getting our typical deep discount, we're getting a double deep discount. I've never
double
seen
deep discount. I like it. So, okay.
I'm going to make this practical. If you're
Go
listening,
ahead. Go ahead.
My current marketing budget for radio is $27,500. That's at a massive deep discount because I've got a ton of radio ads out there. I'm advertising hundreds and hundreds of times per month. I have the exact same frequency that I've always had, and I have it at 50% less than the 27.5. So I'm getting 27,500 of what I would get normally as advertisement for literally half of that right now. That's unheard of, Tom. And the reason that that's happening is because the radio stations right now are so pressed and so stretched on trying to get people to advertise, because you have a lot of people that moved away from advertising to just save money. Because that's what companies do. They go out of business.
So let's,
I've never seen them so negotiable.
Let's talk about that. The reason that this is happening, guys, is because normally when these radio stations are playing hardball, and it's because of a supply and demand, there's a lot of people who know, right? I'm sure everybody here knows Dan Merrill from Fortune Builders, right? And you can't turn on the radio without hearing that he's having a seminar in your market, right? So the people who know are on the radio. And right now, because so many different things are happening in this country, there's fewer people. So this is just like, and I apologize for being so elementary and amateurish here, but it's just my nature to just understand the reasoning behind this. This is totally common sense because there's so much volatility in the market and so many changes happening that there are just not that many people right now on the radio. So the radio is willing to give out these spots for super, super discounted prices, not only discounted prices, but locking those prices in, right? Chris, tell me more about that, how it's not just today, but how you can
you lock it in for 12 months. So a lot of people are like, oh, that's great. You're going to get in and you're going to get a good rate for a couple months. No. every student we have locks in a rate for 12 months. So as
Wow.
the market begins to turn back and begin to work in your favor, you know that you've got a deeply discounted marketing channel that you can depend on, and that rate is a fixed rate for 12 months. And here's the best part, Tom. From our perspective, we get a 2-week cancellation on our side, which means the radio station's locked in with me for 12 months and promised me that rate. What I'm promising is I'll stick with you for 12 months unless I give you a 2 weeks notice and I can back out. That's about the best position that you could be in when it comes to a contract with the radio. So you have no risk. You can pull out anytime with the 2 weeks notice.
I mean, absolute total no brainer, because the benefit is with the advertiser, which is the real estate investor.
Yeah. So let's go on to number 2, man, if you're ready.
Let's do it.
The second thing I've never seen before is one call closes. So going back to the fact of calling reps, we're negotiating at deep discounted price. You know, they ideally don't want to sell these rates. They would rather sell you a retail rate, but we're buying a wholesale rate. So in the past, you know, when the supply and demand was a little bit different, you know, students might take, you know, several calls, several negotiations. It could take weeks to months to get a rate. We have students, I've never seen this before.
Right.
They're calling radio stations, and the stations are so hungry for business that they're doing a one-call close. They'll call the station, say, this is the price I'm willing to pay. And the station goes, okay, we'll accept that. Let's go. We're sending the contract. I've never seen that. And the reason that that's occurring is because of everything that's going on in the market. So, I mean, in my 10 years, I have never personally done a one-call close.
And I can tell you, I was on the phone just recently with a Wholesaling Inc. student who is also in REI radio, and they were telling me that it is unheard of and unbelievable. And everybody who knows anything, anyone who knows anything about sales or negotiating, you know that you are going to get the best deal when you can call up and they're immediately taking the offer that you're proposing. So that is phenomenal. And we're talking about radio, guys, not houses, which is so amazing. So, all right. So number one, amazing rates that are locked in for a long time so that you are getting the benefit today and in the future. You're doing these with one phone call, so it's far less work. What are some of the other changes that you're seeing in the market on radio?
Man, the freebie stuff that stations are giving away to our students right now is just crazy. So I was just on a coaching call yesterday. We have a student named Maureen, and we go around. It's like, what's your win? What's your win today? And Maureen pops on. She goes, yeah, I'm advertising on this radio station. And that station also owns another station, which we call a sister station. And they just said, hey, we're giving you a month free on the other station.
Wow.
And I have never seen radio stations right now being so concerned about losing business that they're just giving freebies away. I was talking with Brent Bowers, who's another student, and he's like, I closed a deal off of a radio station that I'm not even paying for because they threw me some freebie spots on another station.
That's amazing.
I've just not seen like the amount of free stuff that radio stations are just throwing around in my 10 years.
It almost looks like they're trying to fill spots. I mean, I guess there's been really a big decline with a lot of typical advertisers.
Part of it.
Yeah. Wow.
We're filling it with free spots, and at the same time, they're so concerned about keeping your business that they're going above and beyond to do whatever they can. And what that looks like is freebie spots. I mean, heck, radio stations give free tickets to concert. I mean, they're just giving stuff away right now, and I've just not seen that before. And I'm just doing radio as long as I have. You know, it's been consistent. You know, it's always kind of the same game, and the game has changed. And I get excited because this is like my baby. I've been watching this for 10 years, and all of a sudden I'm watching a game doing things I've never seen before.
That's
and
awesome.
It's kind of the silver lining of what's happened this year for radio. Again, there's been a lot of challenges that COVID's created, and there's been some benefits. And with radio, this has been a benefit for us.
Bam. All right. I love it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that sounds great. Free is awesome. So we've got amazing prices locked in for a long time. One call closes, freebies. How could it get better? What else is going on in that marketplace?
It's funny.
It's awesome.
It gets better. So
I feel like we're doing a countdown, like the Ron Popeil Showtime Rotisserie Grill. Like, not only, I mean, it's funny because I'm hearing it myself. which is really why I wanted to be on with you, is because I'm hearing it myself. People are like, oh, did you hear about this and the radio? And I got this deal. And I'm like, I can't believe the frenzy that's happening with radio. And just so, if we could pause for a minute, Chris, I'm kind of thinking like, well, a lot of people, I was just talking to a property manager who runs a big, huge commercial building in Manhattan. And he was saying that, typically for a Friday in the summer, which we're not supposed to date the podcast, but we'll do it this time. It's a Friday in the summer. What happens typically is that there's like 5,000 to 6,000 people in his building at that time. And today there's 100 people in his building. So I was blown away by that. That's a whole different subject. But what I would be thinking is like, well, how well could radio be doing? Because people are they really listening to radio if they're not commuting? Or, why such the uptick in REI radio deals? What is going on out there in this country that there's this uptick that we're seeing with radio ads?
Yeah, well, you got to realize people are tuned in to the television and radio more than ever right now. And I'm definitely going to admit, and again, we're going back months ago now. So if we're talking about when COVID hit for the first 60 days, things were really shut down. People weren't commuting. You could use that argument then. But again, most cities right now, people are getting back to work. They're out grocery shopping. They're going to restaurants. So the whole idea that people aren't out in the car listening to radio is not true. They are out. And on top of that, they're tuned into things like the radio because there's just so much breaking news going on. I mean, how many more people are watching the news right now than ever before? And what are the mediums for the news, right? Television and radio.
It's funny. And I would also say that sometimes I remember when I was first starting as a real estate investor, I would see something that would work and I would ask, maybe my older brother at the time or someone else. I'd say, well, why? And, all my mentors, don't worry about why it works. Just know it does, right? And I remember even as a coach, I get questions from a student and they'll say, well, why would anybody ever sell their house at a discount? Why do they need the speed and convenience? And because they don't understand the idea of an impending event, right? Usually our sellers, they need to sell by X because if they don't, then Y is going to happen by a certain date. But I think the important part is it works. It doesn't really matter why, but it is interesting to see that there's such an uptick in everyone in the community talking about it right now. So all right, what else is going on with putting ads on radio right now?
Yeah. So number 4 is snowballing. And what I mean by that is the way that you grow your radio is you come in and you grab a radio station. Again, you're going to see some quick momentum, leads coming in immediately. You start closing deals and you take that revenue and you go and you buy your second station, your third station. You just snowball it.
Okay.
Well, because things are happening so much faster, calls and things are coming in quicker. I'm also seeing, again, stations being at such a deeper discount. Students are snowballing their radio faster and getting on multiple radio stations faster than I've ever seen. So I'm going to use Joe Terrio as an example. He's one of our students out of the Northeast. Within a 5-month period, he went from never advertising on the radio to 15 stations. 15.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So that hasn't happened in the past, but all of these things, it's like a force multiplier. Stations are negotiating faster. They're going at a deeper discount. Freebie stuff is being thrown around, which helps me grow my campaign and become more profitable faster. All this is coming together, and I'm watching students snowball their radio campaigns and grow them faster than I've ever seen before. I didn't go from 0 to 15 stations in 5 months when I started.
Right.
I might have gone from 0 to 2 or 3 stations in my first entire year.
Right.
And that's just because things are snowballing right now in the favor of radio, which is great.
So
I'm just super excited about that.
More deals, and then essentially just taking all of your time, energy, money, resources, attention, focus, putting it into one marketing channel, and you're able to extract.
Faster is the point. Again, scalability is everything. And when you get in, you launch a marketing program. One of the things you're looking at is how quickly can I scale this? Because the more I can scale it, safely and quickly, the faster I can start making more revenue. And the thing with radio is it's easily scalable right now, more so than I've ever seen.
I love it. All right. So I know there's another major point that you want to talk about with radio, but guys, if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, right now is the right time for me to be on the radio, to get ads out there. There's nobody in my market doing it. I want to dominate this marketing channel. I want to get it up and running so it serves me as a business instead of a job. And this is something that you're interested in, just head on over to wholesalinginc.com, wholesalinginc.com/REI radio. So it's wholesalinginc.com/REI radio, because I'm telling you guys, Chris is a rock star. He knows what he's doing, over 2,000 or $2,500 deals, and his students are crushing it. So, all right, Joe, I didn't want to, Joe, who's Joe? Joe is my next phone call. What the heck am I? Who's Joe?
True entrepreneur right there.
There's a true entrepreneur, right?
At the same time. I get it.
There you go. So
let's close with the last one.
The last one, Chris, what do we got?
The fastest turnaround I've seen. So deals are coming in quicker for our students than I've normally seen. So what I mean by that is, I'm telling you, and again, all this information I'm just, regurgitating back from observing my students and what's happening in our community. So it becomes really easy to just sit back and start taking notes. And all of a sudden I have students going, man, I went live on radio like 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, and I've already executed 2, 3, 4 contracts. And I've not seen in the past the speed of execution off of the launch of radio. I'm not saying that happens for every one of our students. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer, but I've never seen it as fast. So I'll give an example. I just did an interview with Jay Estrada out of Phoenix, which is one of the most competitive markets in the country, without question. This is a guy up there that's going up against the big dogs. Jay launched, and I was just on a call with him yesterday, and he has 5 deals that he literally picked up within the first 5 weeks. 2 of those have already closed. He posted a check. The other 3 are in escrow set to close. I'm like, dude, you went live on radio in Phoenix and you picked up 5 contracts within the first 5 weeks. That's crazy. And 2 of them have already closed and paid you out. I just not seen things move that fast on the lead volume and execution of deals on radio before. Just not seen it.
Phenomenal. I love it. I love it. Very cool. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about getting these channels to actually do deals. So when that's happening, that's terrific. So very exciting stuff. All right. Well, every reason to do this today and get involved with radio, but I also want to ask you about Resimply and what is this that I've been hearing about, and tell me more about it and what it does and why do we need to know about it? What's going on with Resimply?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening, it's always good to put a face with the name, so forth, particularly if you're new to Wholesaling Inc. So you can always jump over to YouTube and watch these videos as well at Chris Arnold Real Estate. So definitely pop over and again, get also some free stuff that we're doing over there too, of extra content. But, Tom, Resimply, this is a game changer. I'm telling you, you're on the front end if you're listening to this, because within the matter of a couple years, you will hear Resimply, in my opinion, like you hear the word Podio.
Awesome.
It is really the business in a box. It's an end-to-end user experience. It's a one-stop shop for everything that you could ever need in your business. So here's what happens within real estate. We launched something like wholesaling, right? So wholesaling is a bit newer from the standpoint it hadn't been around for years and years, and the tech doesn't catch up. So we have to use things like Podio and kind of makeshift Podio as a CRM to work. And then someone comes along and goes, man, I'm paying for like 8 or 10 different softwares, a la carte, right? Like I'm paying for CallRail, and then I pay for list stacking, and now I've got DocuSign, and I've got, Dropbox, and I've got an OnCare website, and I got Driving for Dollars. And you're going, man, it would be nice, number one, if I didn't have to pay for all of these separately, because they all add up and they're expensive. And on top of that, it'd be nice if all these programs were housed in just one place and worked together. Right. That's what Resimply is. It's a game changer. So just imagine that for $100 a month, you could log into one place, get rid of all the systems that you have, and literally have QuickBooks, Carrot, MailChimp, all of these things, project management, bookkeeping, CallRail, a CRM, all in one place, Tom, and get rid of all the ancillary stuff and have one login and one rate that's a lot cheaper for all those things than what you're paying a la carte right now.
Now, Chris, does it replace those tools, or does
Yeah,
it organize them into one location?
replaces them completely.
Okay, so a total 100%
A
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
100% replacement. It's a business in a box. It's everything that you need. So it's
So
taking all of that technology that you need and housing it with replacements that do the exact same thing in one place.
if someone wants to find out more about, and this is whether or not they're using radio, this is for any wholesaler, any real estate investor out there. Is that right?
There's just, I get a lot of questions about it. I was just on a coaching call yesterday with our students, and they're looking at Resimply, and they're like, dude, like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'm using Resimply $100. I pay more than that with CallRail. CallRail is just one feature of like 10 this thing has. Like, this is a no-brainer. And on top of that, it's an entire CRM that's built for wholesaling or fix and flip or whatever particularly you're doing there. Podio was not built for real estate investors. Resimply was built for the real estate investors, so you don't have to get in and try to make it do what it's not meant to do, or finagle it like we do with Podio.
So a few quick things. First of all, I know that. How do we find Resimply, because it's not spelled the way that?
Yeah.
So tell us more about how to find it and what the benefit is. And
Absolutely, you just go to resimply.com, which is RE and then SIMPLI.com. So Resimply, SIMPLI.com, and just check it out. But for $100, it's one of these things that you look at and you go, man, it's just an absolute no-brainer. It's been great for our business. And so we've been able and going through the process of just completely weaning off of Podio. And again, everyone always asks me, Chris, give me a discount, give me a promo code. That's kind of like always our responsibility, Tom, right? To go to bat for everyone. So I talked with the owner. The list stacking usually costs about $100 a month. That's an additional thing. And if you use the promo code of REI Radio, again, one word, REI Radio, not case sensitive, all lowercase, whatever you want to put in, you get the list stacking for free. So that's like $100 a month off.
The list stacking, guys, I will tell you,
that's expensive just by itself.
It's expensive, but what a payoff, because when I first was coaching, everyone was talking about list stacking. And I said, if Johnny Smith appears on multiple lists a few times, I want him to get my card multiple times. But what has happened since I first started coaching into today is that there are too many lists. We have so many. There are about 18 lists that we recommend at Wholesaling Inc. And the reality is that what list stacking does for anybody who's listening is you can take those lists and you can say who's appearing on these lists multiple times. That's your hottest list. And you can identify and go after those people specifically at that moment. So really, really exciting stuff. And just that alone is certainly worth $100 a month, besides, of course, replacing CallRail and lists and CRM and everything else. So
$100 a month. Now, I love technology. That's what technology should do. It should do things that make you more efficient at a less cost. I mean, that's why we love tech. It's like, how did I ever run my life without this? And because technology is getting better and better, it's just getting so much more affordable. I can't believe they can get that system for $100.
I love it. Guys, right now, do not miss the boat on this. This is going to allow the real estate investors in your market who are right now to get in at these low prices. I mean, I'm hearing this from the students. So I can tell you now is the time. Head on over to www.wholesalinginc.com/REI radio. Check out resimply.com. It's RESIMPLI. And for the all the special offers with that, just put in REI radio for the code, and that'll get you all the benefits that Chris has with the owner. But guys, I'm telling you, radio is where it's at right now. I mean, Chris, awesome stuff, brother. Thank you for the contribution to the industry with radio ads. I mean, so obvious, right? It's like direct mail. Everybody knew about it and nobody was doing it. I mean,
exactly the same.
No-brainer.
And it's changing people's businesses. I'm just excited about it because I got students doing deals and they're just excited to like be away from, always having to depend on some of this aggressive, time-consuming stuff like text blasting and RVMing and cold calling, and they all work. But students are like, man, I'm just looking to make my phone ring. can I just pay money, make my phone ring, and get a quality call? That's all
Yes.
I need. And that's what
Bam.
video is. It's that simple, and it's been a game changer for students. They love it.
Chris, I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you for coming on and sharing this expertise in radio ads for motivated sellers.
Yes, sir, man. Always good to hang out with you, buddy. Appreciate
Oh,
it, man.
ditto, guys. So now is the time to do it. If you've been thinking about it, you definitely are going to want to get involved at this point. Where if you've been waiting for radio, now is a time to really start that channel in your business. It's super affordable, guys. I appreciate your time with us. Thanks for trusting us to give you the guidance that you need to be a better real estate investor. We love spending time with you guys. So enjoy the day. God bless everybody. And Chris, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right.